You've been wondering why everything around you feels like it's falling apart, why the people you trusted suddenly walked away, why the plans you made keep crumbling. No matter how hard you try, what if I told you those are hidden signs God is preparing you for something greater than you imagined? The stripping away, the isolation, the closed doors, they're not punishments. They're divine positioning, because before God elevates you, He separates you. Just like Joseph was thrown into a pit by his own brothers, then falsely accused and left in a prison before stepping into the palace, Genesis 50-20. You too must be hidden before you're revealed. God does His deepest work in the dark, behind the scenes, when no one is clapping for you, and when you're forced to confront everything you thought you needed. If you've been losing friends, losing opportunities, and losing motivation, don't panic. That's often the first sign. God removes the unnecessary to make room for the extraordinary. Second, you might feel an unshakable restlessness, a deep spiritual discomfort with things you once tolerated, because when your calling grows louder, the world's noise starts to irritate your spirit. What used to entertain you now feels hollow. What used to satisfy you now feels like a distraction. That's the Holy Spirit stirring you up for greater alignment, just like when Moses, raised in Pharaoh's house, suddenly couldn't ignore the suffering of his people anymore. Exodus 2:11-12. Third, God starts testing your obedience in silence. The season gets quiet. No affirmations, no open signs, no booming voice from heaven, just a still small whisper telling you to move forward in faith. If you're being asked to obey without confirmation, to give without recognition, to serve without applause, that's a hidden sign He's building your foundation. You're in spiritual boot camp. David was anointed king as a boy, but he had to go back to tending sheep and dodging Saul's spears for years before he ever touched the throne. 1 Samuel 16, 1 Samuel 24. The fourth sign? Intense spiritual attacks right before your breakthrough. The enemy doesn't bother those who pose no threat. If you've felt increased temptation, heaviness, confusion, or even sudden fatigue, you're likely on the edge of something big. Satan always counterattacks destiny. Just like Jesus, right after being baptized and declared God's Son, was led into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. Matthew 4:1-11. If you're in a war zone, it's because your future is valuable. Finally, God starts increasing your capacity through pressure. Things feel harder because you're being stretched. The assignment is bigger, the calling heavier, the responsibility greater, and it feels like too much because you weren't meant to carry it in your strength. That pressure is producing perseverance. James 1-3-4. So if you're exhausted but still standing, confused but still seeking Him, weary but refusing to give up, congratulations, you're in the refining fire, and the gold is about to show. Don't let your current pain make you forget your prophetic promise. Don't misinterpret pruning as rejection. Don't mistake silence for absence. God hides His greatest weapons until the appointed time. And if you're seeing these signs, the time is near. Get ready.